Hi everyone and happy Tuesday. Now we are on to the second part, probably the last part of this video from the Johanna Basford Weekly Planner and World of Flowers, and we are using the Brutfuner Macaron pencils, and I am going to do this one which we talked about a little bit in the last video, but I didn't colour because I needed to get away and do something quick. So we did that one and the centres instead, didn't we? So this one, now I decided on the colour already. So I've decided I'm going to do it in blue. We do have quite a lot of blues. So I thought it would be good to use a blue where we've got so many different bits and pieces to colour. I'm just looking at my swatch chart though to try and find some blues that sort of go together nicely. I think the lavender blue and the saxe blue go quite well. I do feel like I'm about to sneeze. Ooh. I'm going to hope it goes away. No, it's not going to go away. Right, sorry, that was a very early interruption, not that you missed much. So this is the saxe blue, and I'm going to do, I think, these little pieces here to start with. Now I'm not doing anything fancy with these because they're quite small. I am going to sharpen my pencil. Let's find the right sharpener. I've got a Staedtler Norris and a Tagau in here, and I use whichever one is right for the pencils. Ooh, I've just been doing a family and video chat, so I've been chattering. Well, I haven't done loads of chat. I let the others chatter for a while. I'm going to go do a little bit darker here and try and fade it to there. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to give it a go. If it doesn't work, we'll just block it in, because I'm going a bit out there, aren't I? But yeah, chatting to my parents, and they went off to, they were going to go for a walk and go and get a drink. There's I guess it's about 15 minutes walk, maybe, depends how fast you walk. They're not that fast from their house and to a little place. So like a little garden, and there's a little place where you can get drinks. I don't know if you can get tea and coffee or if it's just cold drinks, but it's quite a hot day, so you might want some lemonade or something like that. I think they like a bit of lemonade or limeade or something like that. I mean, it is licensed, but my parents don't drink alcohol, so that's all good. They can, and they said there's a little area with some squashy chairs and parasols outside by a little pond. It sounds really nice. Could go with them. It's a bit of a long journey though. By the time I hopped on the train and got there, they'd be done. It'd be tea time. Oh well, maybe if I go visit them soon, I can go. But I don't know, it's a bit hot for me today, to be honest. Okay, there's the beginning of that. I was going to use more blues, but actually I decided in the end that 2 blues would work quite well. So this one is the lavender blue, so it's a bit lighter. I'm just going to do the other areas. I'm going to try and make it a little bit darker nearer here. So this bit a bit darker, but I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get away with doing a lighter bit, because it depends on how pale it is, really, whether it's going to show up. We'll see how it goes, but I'm just trying to layer this bit up a little bit. Yeah, they'd said we had the family get together yesterday there, and they said someone had left some glasses behind. It was my niece, and she said she wants them posted to her, even though my sister was like, but you hardly wear them. She's like, I want them. So anyway, it's quite, because there's she's got she thinks she might have ADHD, I think, but she can get a bit, I think everyone gets a bit forgetful at times though, but I think she feels she's a little bit more than the average, but I don't know. But she doesn't want to be tested for it. She's not too worried, but her brother has it, you see. So she's sort of thinking maybe. And she is yeah, I guess she's, I think she probably thinks because she's a little bit disorganised, she finds it hard to tidy things up and organise herself and her things. Maybe that's a sign of it, but yeah, it's hard to know without knowing how, professionally tested. But she's not really interested in that. I think the thing is, if you think you've got something and then you can turn to use some of the coping techniques that that are available, then you might be able to help yourself without needing professional help, which can be quite useful. I think that's where the internet comes in really useful. I mean, it isn't good when you use Dr. Google to diagnose yourself with all sorts of nasties. You do have to be a little bit careful. I have been looking on there sometimes and gone, ooh, and had to stop myself because, yeah, it can be a bit scary, can't it? And it seems to always, this is the surf green. It seems to always say you've got the worst, or what you're looking up, you know, is the worst thing possible when, you know, like I remember having some symptoms and looking up something and it came up with some really scary thing. And then I went to the doc and they were like, yeah, he's just got a bit of an infection. Here's some antibiotics. I was like, phew, why was I even scaring myself? You know, so it's better to just get some professional help, really. Anyways. There we go. Now we've got these other leaf shapes and I'm trying to decide whether to do them in this colour or whatever I decide to do this bit in. I think I'm going to do this colour. So yes, I've stopped looking things up in too much detail unless I know what things are. So, you know, if someone's had a diagnosis and you don't know what the thing is, you can find out a bit about it. But unfortunately, I haven't had that situation for a while, which is nice. That centre colour, so that was surf green. I think the summer green goes well with it, and we have used it already, but as I said yesterday, we are going to have to be using a few colours twice because we, you know, haven't got that many. So here's the summer green. Yeah, sunburn is what summer green says to me today. I got sunburnt yesterday, and I got out my sun spray. I had 2 lots of after sun lotion. I knew I was getting sunburn. I was outside in the garden. I was talking to someone, and I could feel that I was getting burnt. But I wanted to talk to them, and I should have just said, "Can I move around to the shade?" But we were engrossed. You know how it is. Cyclamen. For this one, now we've got these little blips, and they're so small. I'm going to colour over them with my cyclamen, and then I'm just going to go over the top of them with a different colour after. So anyway, I could feel I was burning, but I came home and I got 2 lots of after sun. So one was older than the other and I didn't know which was which. So I grabbed one and it had a little spray thing on it. And I'm surprised you have that on an after sun. It's usually a thing you have on a sunblock, but anyway. And I looked at it and the spray thing was all full of mould. I thought, ooh, it's all black. I was like, no, chuck that in the bin. I think it was about 5 years old. Not too old then. And then I found out the other one and I looked at it and smelt it and I wasn't sure. I thought it was probably even older. And I put a bit on and it didn't seem to, I could feel my sunburn burning under it. I was like, this isn't doing me any good. And it just went all sticky. I was like, ugh. So that was a bit of a disaster. But luckily it wasn't sore. So I thought I'm just going to leave well alone and just not put anything on it now. This is mint green. I have got some sort of general moisturising cream which I will use because that's just soothing and nice. I'm going to try and fade it towards this tip. I'm just going to make that bit really dark just because I'm running out of greens. There we go. So yeah, I'll just put some general moisturiser on it later just to stop the skin from drying out. But yeah, I was wearing a lowish cut top. Not really low, but you know, showing a bit of my top of my chest, lower neck area. That's where it got burnt. I was facing the sun, I think. But hey, it was a lovely day. This one here. I've got one there as well. Can you see? Just about. Let's move across a bit. So yeah, we've got this one and this one. They look really similar, so I think I'm going to do them the same. I've just noticed these leaves all look the same as these, but I think I'm not going to worry about making too much the same, but I'll just do these the same. I think I'm going to grab this colour. This is the leaf green. It's one of my faves. But yeah, it was lovely. Sometimes, you know, it was, I mean, it wasn't that hot, but it was just sunny. Sunny, hotter today, and it's due to get hotter. But fortunately, it looks like it's only going to be a 3-day amount of heat, and it won't be even enough for a heat wave. Phew, that's good. I know I shouldn't wish it away, but I'm just looking forward to it being over. Now, I forgot, I said I was going to do those in a darker colour, and did I? Yeah. I'm going to now. I'm going to grab the smoke blue, just giving it a sharpen. I don't know if it's going to be dark enough. I'm going to give it a go and see what happens. So it is smoke blue. I think it is just about showing up. Just going to go over it again. I think it's pretty burnished. There we go. Okay, we need some pink right in the middle. We've got quite a few pinks. I'm just looking at the ones that we've got. I think that one and that one will be good. I'm going to use the darker pink first, rather than trying to go over the top like I did there, which wasn't particularly successful. I'm going to do the darker colour first this time. So this is the rose grey, I think that might say, maybe. And do these little teeny bits, and I'm just going to block them in. Yeah. It was interesting because I was talking to them about my mindfulness thing that I'm doing, and my husband reckoned that, is this the azalea pink? Is that what I'm wanting? Yes, the azalea pink. He thought that he had been recommended the book that he had on it by my sister's husband. And I said, oh, you know, I think this, I'm going to try and fade it to the tip a little bit. I said, oh, I'm reading this book that apparently he recommended. He said, wouldn't have been me. He said, I think it's a load of, yeah, we won't say the word. We'll say the word bunkum. And began with that letter. And that's like, oh. And my niece was going, no, it's really bad because it tells you to ignore your feelings. And I was like, no, it doesn't. I don't know where they get these ideas from, but they obviously haven't studied it, like, or maybe they've done a different book or somebody else's ideas on what it is, but that, you know. And my dad was saying, yeah, I've used it loads and it's really, really good. I was like, I know. I agree. So, but anyway, because, but my dad, I don't know if he's done specific mindfulness. He's done lots of meditation. When he was a lot younger, he was taught how to do it. He went to some sort of class, I think. Because he needed some help with his with a certain particularly stressful situation, willow green, that he was in at the time. I'm going to do these leaves now. And those. Oh, there's one there as well, which you can't see. Hang on, let's move along a bit. I think I'm going to do them all the same. Although I said I wasn't going to do that with those. Oh. Never mind, I'm just going to start and see what happens. What I'm going to do with these is try and do them darker in each section, light to the top. So darker at the bottom of the section, and then lighter, and then darker, and then lighter. And anyway, my dad got taught how to do progressive muscle relaxation, other types of meditation, which he found extremely beneficial. And so yeah, so I had someone on my side. My sister wasn't actually saying either way. I know she used to use meditation, and then the person that she learnt from did something she didn't agree with, so then she forgot the whole idea, when I didn't really agree with it either. But it doesn't mean to say, but because the ideas had worked so well, I was like, well, it doesn't matter. You know, just, you know, we're not perfect. We all make little mistakes or do things that not everyone's going to agree with. If we can't forgive people, This is misty green. Now, so you've got all these little teardrop shapes. There are some circles as well. I'm going to try to just colour the teardrop shapes and leave the circles. But if I do that a little bit wrong, I probably won't notice, so it won't matter, but I won't worry about it. Never worry about colouring anyway. It's, you know, it's supposed to be relaxing. And I know it isn't for everybody. I know some people get very concerned about thinking they can't do it right, or they're ruining their book, or things like that, when, you know, it's worth remembering, why did you, I'm going to do, oh no, we've got some that, no, I'm not going to do those. I'm going to sort of associate those with this flower, if that makes sense. I'm just going to move my swatch chart out of the way so I can move this big flower into the middle. Okay, so yes, it's worth remembering why you started doing colouring. Was it because you wanted some help with your mental health? And if so, then it needs to be that sort of helpful tool. I like that colour. Does it work with anything else? Yes, with that. Okay, that one and that one. Right, we're going to start with this, which is the blue ice. This is our darker colour for this particular flower. Again, we're going to use two. I've chosen blues again, but I think it'll be fine. So this is blue ice, and I'm going to do not this central part, but this sort of layered bit here. And I'm going to try, like I did on the other one, make these little V's a bit darker than the rest. Excuse me, I just had a piece of chocolate. Nice. Yeah, my cousin brought us some chocolate from America. I'd never heard of the brand. It was quite interesting. It was sort of 70% and had there were lots of different sort of flavours, one nut butters and nuts and different things. Some had raw cane sugar, some had coconut sugar. A really interesting selection of different things. Some had salted caramel. My mum grabbed that one, it's her favourite. And she's got really into salted caramel lately. And there was sort of peanut butter cups and things like that. And they were like really sort of artisan looking brands. Really interesting. I can't remember the brand names. But she shops in... I don't know actually whether, and she also brought a bag from a shop, you know, a sort of reusable shopper, which I always find so useful. I can't remember what the name of the shop was, but I'd never heard it. It had a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge on the bag, which is very cool, and the name of the shop and a tomato, and it's, I think it was a woman's name. Can't remember. Was it Molly's? Molly? No. I think I'm just making things up now. just to say a random name, that'll do. No, I don't know. But it was rather cute and very useful, of course. Always bags, also useful, shopping bags. No. I don't know whether in America, or it might be state by state thing, whether they still have like plastic carrier bags or one-use paper bags for stuff like that. Because here we're not allowed to, it's against the law. If you have a carrier bag, you have to buy it. You're not allowed to give them away. And I think it has helped with, you don't see carrier bags blowing around the streets, in trees, caught in the branches, blowing around in rivers and things like that, which is really nice. I don't know how, I'm assuming that it has smoke blue. I'm assuming that it's good for the environment and has reduced the amount of plastic that's being produced. But some people now just buy bags, but the bags that are for sale have to be stronger plastics. They can be reused. But also I understand that like cotton bags, they take so much water to grow cotton that they aren't always a better option. But I think that's the problem with trying to do the right thing all the time. There's always someone that'll go, oh no, that's not as good as this. And you know, you can only do your best. I mean, I can only think that reusable's got to be a bit better, because then you're not wasting so much, you know. And so I'm just going right over the top of these. So that's, and I just tend to actually, we've got a lot of bags, just use them until they fall apart. I'm going to reduce this one down so we get a bit of a lighter tip. I don't know how much that shows, but that's why. It's quite grey, this colour, isn't it? But that's okay, because it looks really different. It looks a bit more purpley, slightly, than the other blue that we did. So that's good. Need to make sure I'm using all the colours before we finish. Got a lot of sort of yellowy colours which I haven't used. I'm not sure about those because our flower centres are yellow. I'll have a think about those in a minute. And also I've left loads of them, so I'm not going to be able to fit them all in, because they'll be all right next to each other, and I'm trying to make it look, just tidy that up a bit, a little bit random. And yeah, evenly spread with colour is not random. Oh, you know how it is. I'm going to make a contrived random. It isn't random at all. Right, I will stop waffling and we will find a colour for these. I am thinking that maybe this colour, what is this? Is this the really bluey? Yeah, that's the Irish green. It was really bluey that I didn't end up liking very much. I'm going to not do that one. I'll do this one though. This is the celadon green. Let's put it in short so you can see it's celadon, that says. I'm sure it normally has an N, it's celadon. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'm making things up, who knows. So we've got a lot of leaves on this one. I'm going to try and fade them to the tip again, but they're small, so we'll just see. That one I'm going to do darker in the middle and then a bit lighter through. Like that. Yeah, my sister had just been shopping. She said she bought one of the really giant bags of rice. I think they're an interesting idea, but I've never got room. Where'd you put one of those? I remember when I was a student, they were banned. We weren't allowed to buy them. And I think and we weren't also allowed to keep food in the lower cupboards of our apartment flat. I assume that was to make sure there were no unwelcome visitors. Luckily, we had no such trouble. I'm going to try and do that sort of fadey thing that I did on this one. It's such a small space. Just try my best. That's all I can do. There we go. Okay, that's all those leaves. Now we've got this one. Let's go for these sorts of yellows. We've got the jaune brilliant shell pink. Let's have that. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. This is the jaune brilliant. Jaune being yellow, isn't it in French? Yellow. And I'm going to use this for the little triangles. Oh, snap. I think this looks a little bit pinky, but I don't know how it's going to look compared to that yellow. I'm putting on quite a lot of layers so that it looks different to the centre. And then around the edge, I'm not going to do that fadey thing because it's such a pale colour. I want it to show up. There we go. There we are. And now in the middle, I was going to do, what am I going to do this? No, there's a colour called Flesh, isn't there? Which looks yellow. Maybe my flesh is that colour. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to do the centre bits with this. The larger petals with this. And again, I'm going to try and fade it a bit. I want it quite built up, layered up here. And then I can start to fade it upwards. Like that. There we go. and work all round. Okay, and now we need to do some petals. Now I want a really pale colour green. The opal green is quite pale. Yes, here it is. Because we've got quite a pale sort of yellowy theme going on, we don't want the greens to be too intense, and then they'll just jump out of the page and you won't see the central flower so well. So this is very pale, but I'm going to try to lighten it slightly. Now here we really want to layer it up down in the bottom in that little diamond shape. There we go. Now we've got a few pretty singular flowers. So pretty. Now I think it's about time we had another pink. We haven't used this one. What's this one? I can't read it. Raspberry rose. Is that what it says? It is what it says. I'm going to give it a sharpen. A raspberry rose. Interesting name. Again, I am just trying to fade it towards the edge of each petal. Just gently reducing the pressure on the pencil as we come out and doing less layers as well. And you can get a slightly lighter look. Okay, now we've got 4 leaves here. I think I'm going to use this colour. This is the green flash. I keep wanting to say lettuce green. Is this the lettuce green from the Holbeins? I think it is. I don't know, maybe it's a bit dark for that. There we go. There's not much we can do with those really, apart from just colour them in. Now we have this one. Where's another colour we haven't used? Lots of blue. I'm going to use this one. This is called Sky Mist. Sorry, my eyes are starting to go. Sky Mist. It's a good job it's quite a simple picture. I've got a lot of blurred vision. 4th video of the day. My eyes are like, ugh. There we go. Now, I've got an olive. I don't want to use that. I'm going to grab a different green. I think, yeah, I'm going to use this surf green. I know we've used it already, but I haven't got many others left. It's quite bluey green, isn't it? Now, I think these are probably with this flower just because they're pointing that way, but I don't think it matters that much. And then this one here, what have we got left? We've got, I'm wondering about the shell pink or the pink complexion. Don't want to use the browns, particularly sand beige cork or the greys. Yeah, I shall use the pink complexion. I know it's another pink, but it's a bit of a different colour. Here we go, pink complexion. It's quite a cute colour, this one actually. It's a bit like the Deco Pink, isn't it? Now I need a really delicate green. What shall I use? The summer green looks nice. I think I'll use that. Just give it a sharpen. Here we go. Summer green. Now I've just observed that on the other side to here, we've got quite a dark, vibrant item. So I think I want this one to be quite vibrant as well, so it balances our picture a little bit. So I'm going to make these sort of, I think they're berries, I'm not sure. I'm going to do them in this mustard. It's a lovely colour. And what I'm going to try to do is make them a little darker on the edge and a little lighter towards the centre. and we'll see what influence it has, if any. Nothing particularly visible. If it was bigger, we definitely see something going on, but I'm sure if you get your binoculars out, not binoculars, microscope, you might see something. Right, we need these 3 little leaves at the top. It feels fitting actually to go in with the leaf green. Although that's that, isn't it? No, we won't do that then. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the celadon, however you say it, whatever it is. Just because I don't want the same colour as that. This is going to be quite difficult. It doesn't really go with that, but you know. Now, we have all these dots, and I have thought that maybe it might be nice to do them with one of the colours we haven't used yet, rather than a pen. But I've just looked at the size of them and I've changed my mind. So I'm going to come out so we can see the whole page, give it a brush, and then look at my pens and make a decision. There we go. So I'm just going to give these all a brush over. Now, I think what I would like to do is only use one colour pen, because I think otherwise it's going to look a bit messy and it might take away from what I'm trying to achieve with the picture, which is a nice simplicity. So I've got all my coloured pens here. These are my Jelly Roll Stardust glitter pens, and I'm having a think. Now I feel that I want a gold or a silver really. I don't want to go for like, I mean a green might work because there's a lot of green going on, but I think a gold might just work better. I don't think a silver, it doesn't feel right to me somehow, so I'm feeling a gold. Now the gold pen is number 703 for reference if you want to use the same colour, and I'm going to start on this side and then move across to the other side so that I don't smudge, in theory, what I've done already. But if you are left-handed, you'll need to move in the opposite direction because your hand will move across the page in a different way. I just found a bit I need to sweep off, but I can't do it now, or else I will just smudge all the pen. I'm very good at smudging pen. It's one of my special sort of party tricks, you know, special skills, especially unintentional smudging. I wonder if any of you found a pen that went over the lines to make it look green. I'd be interested if you tried that. You know, I was talking about it in the last video, maybe getting a sort of lime green type gel pen or something. I think I'm wondering if there's one in my Moonlight set. Oh, did I miss that one? I have, haven't I? Right, I nearly did it with this. No. Now down here I'm okay not going in the other direction because I can put my hand below. Oh, there we go. Now I wonder how many I've missed. Yeah, I've definitely, have I missed that? Yeah, I've definitely missed that petal. I wonder what colour it is. I'm looking for that pink, and then I found the flash green which is next to it. I'm sure that's the colour. There we go, that's good. Whew, lucky guess. Now I'm going to just tip this to the light and look at it very carefully to see. Yeah, then I can see the ones I've missed because they catch the light. It's really hard to see. Yeah, there we go. There it's finished. Oh, it's such a pretty page, and I think I did it justice. Of course, you could use some white pen on there too to do some little highlights and things like that. The only problem is I think one of these colours bleeds into white. I can't see well enough to tell. I think the azalea pink might. I can't really see. So I've put white pen on my swatch chart so I can see, but I can't see it. So I did, but I like the simplicity, so I'm just going to leave it there. So thank you for watching. Yeah, I hope you have a good day. enjoy your rest of your Tuesday, if it is Tuesday, or whatever day it is, and have a super week. And hopefully you'll pop back in for a different video before next week's planner. But otherwise, I'll see you next Monday, but hopefully sooner. Thank you so much for watching. Have a super day and happy colouring.